Ni hao, guten tag, assalamu alaikum. Hola, como esta? What's up? How y'all doing? And welcome to Brat Life TV. I'm your host, Adrian D.C. Dre Johnson. And let me start by saying I'm a brat, a Nuremberg Eagle, and an Augsburg Apache. And for some of the viewers not familiar with the schools I just mentioned, those are cities in Germany. That's right, I said Germany. And if you're wondering, how did he attend schools in Germany? I was a brat. My father was in the military like hundreds of thousands of other parents or guardians that worked in the armed forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We didn't ask for that experience, but we lived it. So today, we're going to call this episode Master of Ceremonies because our featured guest is a recording artist, extraordinary talent, an entertainer, a rapper, a father, my brother, Scott Fresh Gibson.
What's up, man? How you doing? Frankfurt in
Hey,
the building, man.
good seeing you,
Frankfurt in the
baby.
good seeing you too, man. Yo, shout out to everybody in plot and housing area in Frankfurt. Yo, put in a lot of work there. What's up, baby?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, I want first start off by saying, yo, thank you, because you taught me a lot when it comes to this music. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know how to write a bar, a hook. You know what I'm saying? I was just rapping. I was just, all I knew was rapping. I could put the lyrics together, but I ain't know about counting no bars or counting none of that. Hey, but tell for the audience, to tell them who Scott Fly Key Fresh G is.
Oh man, I got to Germany in like August of 1984, and I was in Frankfurt, and I was going by the moniker Fresh, and it just got me in a lot of trouble, man. I was on some bullshit back then. And I was just a young kid that was out of control. I didn't really have no structure, no rules to my life. I was just every day was Saturday night for me. You
Yeah, no
know,
doubt.
yeah, every day was Saturday night. I was hanging out with my man Pete, and we just was wilding. But I was one of the few cats. I actually got to Germany in August and December. They told my mom I had to go back because I was like going so hard over there, and I was gone for like a year. I went back to New York, got in a whole bunch of nonsense out there, and then I came back to Germany. And my brother and all of them, they was rapping, they was making records, dudes was doing shows over there. But when I first got there, I was breakdancing.
Yeah, I
I
was
was in a group called the
breakdancing too.
Floor Masters,
Uh, Hey, what was your go-to move? What was your go-to move?
the suicide.
The
It's why my back
suicide?
hurt now.
Yeah, you look like a suicider.
The suicide is the suicide. That's why my back hurt now for some strange reason.
Hey, the one move I could never get down was the windmill, man. I could do a head spin, hand spin, elbow spin,
Bro,
back spin, but I couldn't get that windmill down, man.
man. I was
Hey,
hanging out with a cat. My best friend at the time name was Al Edwards, man. He called him Swift, and this dude was just like so talented. I mean, he could do it all, man. I mean, this dude was the man, man. He had this move called the $6 million man. That shit was like super duper crazy. He was like mad inventive, and he running wild with me, and I'm out there wilding, and he wilding and everything like that, and we just breakdancing. We ended up in places we ain't had no business. Me and this dude was young, 15 years old. We all over the place, man. Just having a good time. Yeah, man. The suicide was my move, man. I pretty much had that down to a science. I could do it all kinds of ways, man. And now I'm 55 years old and my back got I got
yeah,
back.
it ain't the same. You do a suicide, it might be suicide now. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, so your family originally from New York, Queens. What part of
Queens, New
Queens
York.
again?
We from Queens, New York. We grew up in Bayside.
Uh,
I grew up on Long Island Sound. They used to call where I grew up at the Hollywood of the East. So, we had a lot of celebrities. I went to school with like celebrity kids and doctors and lawyers and everything. They wasn't wilding and shooting and doing all of that where I lived at per se. It was more like a blue collar, upper middle, then you had rich people and everybody like went to school together. So we all knew each other. It was a real melting pot. Queens is like the melting pot of New York. So, but Bayside, where I grew up at, it's a real melting pot. We had all races there. You know, it's kind of, you know, it was it's bugged out because it's kind of like with the military, except without the army. It was really like a giant melting pot. But you know, you always gonna have a little racism here and there. I mean, it
Right,
is what it
right.
is.
But that's the
Everybody
makeup.
got along. You
But
know,
that's the
everybody
makeup
got
of New
along.
York. Period. Makeup of New
Yeah.
York is a melting pot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, I grew up really good. You know, the things that eventually happened that to my friends and you know my family members, you know, we didn't have to do that. You know, we just got caught up in that rush of New York, man. And
Right.
you know,
That's
it's
right.
just like
Yep.
DC, man. Any major city, you know, it's gonna have its good and bad points. Fortunately enough for me, you know, my mom was in the army and she got us out of there, you know, right before all the chaos hit. I mean,
Yeah.
I could tell you about my time in Rikers Island, all of that. Yeah, I was
Shout out
in
to
there.
Mama Gibson.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lil.
Rest
She
in
was the
peace.
queen, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could tell you about that, sitting in jail, Rikers Island, sitting out in Suffolk County, sitting in jail and all of that, and you know, crazy stuff like that. But you know, that's just a part of growing up.
Yeah. No doubt.
You know, it's just the experiences, so it's all good. But yeah,
But
New York.
but without that, it wouldn't make you who you are today. You understand? You need them
Yeah.
experiences to guide you through your life. You understand?
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, I always been, you know, hip hop has always been in my life. You know, my brother D Ski, everybody know him. He was DJing when we was little kids, 10 years old. He'd be DJing in the basement. My grandfather be yelling, "Turn that music down before I throw it out the window." And I would be sitting down, you know, sitting on the steps watching them DJ. So, I mean, Cat was coming over and trying to do demos with him when he was like, you know, 13, 15 years old. You know, this
Right.
dude, he's the greatest DJ of all time to me, man. Whatever you want, he can give it to you. Go
Yeah.
rock
No
a
doubt.
party
Shout out to D
anywhere.
Ski.
Yeah.
Shout out to D Ski. You know that was my first episode right there with my brother, the D
Right,
Ski.
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Shout
Old
out to
DC.
D. Yeah. So who gave you the name Fresh?
You know, when I moved to Germany, man, I just was like, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I used to get picked on with the name Scott. Oh, that's that white boy name and everything like that. So when I moved over there, I had a hat on that said Fresh, and somebody was like, yo, what's your name? And I was like, yo, Fresh. Name didn't cause me nothing but trouble, man. Who did it? Fresh. Who was
Fresh.
there? Fresh. Who started it? Fresh. Yo, we looking for somebody who? Yo, Fresh. Oh, I know Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was just a lot of mess that went along with that, you know. But again, I'm appreciative of that experience, that time in my life. If it wasn't for that time, I wouldn't be who I am now. So I'm thankful to Fresh for, you know, getting it out the way early.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
So was it a culture shock when you got over there?
Oh, shit, man. Yo, yeah, I understand. When we first got there, we got off at the airport, we used to being in the big city, so the airport was something. But the first thing we did was my mom was like, yo, y'all gonna take a cab to the house. And we got in the Mercedes cab and this dude is like gunning it. And me and D, we looking at each other like, yo, why is this dude driving so fast? And we like, yo, son, why you driving so fast? He was like, it's the Autobahn. We like, yo, what's that? He's like, they don't got no speed limit.
No speed
And this
limit.
dude is driving this Mercedes like at top speed. And we like in there like, damn.
And the crazy part about that is they have less accidents than we have over here.
Oh, they can't drive here, man.
But when they have accidents, them joints be major.
They
major
did.
400 car pileups and shit like
Yeah.
that. Like one time, God rest their soul, and going to the Oktoberfest in Munich, they had a 400 car like collision because people going so fast. By the time you get up on it, it's too late. A lot of people died, man. So that and at the Oktoberfest, they got a wall up with all the people that died from that crash up there. That joint is crazy up in Munich.
Yeah, but I remember driving into Munich many nights.
Any night. We used to hit that club up there and get on the mic and all that.
Oh, man.
That club that stayed open, man. They had some clubs in Germany.
Listen, man. They had in Munich. Was you there when they had the club that opened at 4:00 in the afternoon?
Exactly.
Go from there in Munich from 4 to 10, and then everybody from Munich would drive to Augsburg and go to the Alexis till 4 in the morning on Sunday night. On Sunday, oh God, man, what?
Man, we used to We used to go in there and rock the mic in that joint all night long. We used to shut that joint down.
Yeah, man. Then when I was in Frankfurt, we would go to the PC club, drink in there till 2, then go downtown to the Funkadelic till 6, and then catch the train to the airport and go to the Dorian Gray, and that closed at 12 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
We opened up the Funkadelic. If it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be a Funkadelic. But we'll get to that.
Goodness.
We'll get to that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so when did you start rapping?
Man, you know, it's so funny because let me tell you how it happened. When I was in New York, I was hanging out with cats. My man, shout out to my man Raheem and my cousin Supreme. And I was with them. And the thing with Raheem was always gaming people. So I learned with Raheem, I was learning how to just run game on people all the time. So it really, you know, and then when I went back to Germany, I was still running game, but then, you know, I was hanging out with Pete, and Pete was rapping, you know, D and them was chilling, but Pete was rapping, and, you know, I would always be out there like everybody freestyling and all of that.
Exactly.
And, you know, one day my brother said to me, yo, write it. He said, you can freestyle, no doubt. He said, but write it down. Let's see what you got. And I was writing these raps, man. They was terrible.
They was whack.
The thing that when I first started rapping, this might have been like, man, 80, 87, 86, 87, something like that. I was still wilding though. You know, I hadn't really, you know, me and Pete was still hanging together, but we was music part-time, you know, but we DJing in the club, but we still
85% of the time.
Yeah, wilding 85% of the time. You know, I wasn't going to school. You know, like I said, every day was Saturday for me. I moved to Augsburg, and I'll never forget a girl named Delaney. We didn't know how to work the drum machine and record or nothing, so we got all this equipment. So we took the drum machine up to her house, and we was like, yo, listen to this. And her mother was like, okay, we playing the beats. They like, okay, when the music gonna start? That is the music. Her mother, she was like, oh, that's terrible. And her mother was like, what is that crap y'all listening to, yelling from the kitchen? What is that garbage y'all listen to? And she was like, that's Scott and Pete music. And her mother was like, turn that noise off. I kid you not, man. We got on the bus back to Augsburg. You know, it was like that 8-hour ride because, you know, you're going through all the little towns to these little small military bases.
You ain't got to tell me.
And we sat on the bus the whole trip. We didn't say nothing.
So that was longer than 8 hours. That joint was on the bus. Man. That joint was forever.
Yo, that government bus. But
man,
it's so crazy. But yo, real talk though. The whole trip back, we didn't say nothing. After that, we got in. We went down in the basement. Yo, a year later, they couldn't touch us, man. We was ready. I mean, I had already been making records. Like we sent the demo. We got a record contract in Miami. They flew us out to Miami from Germany, and we out there. And we get there. They like, yo, let's go to the studio. And we didn't know how to work no studio. We didn't bring no equipment. We didn't bring no disc. We didn't bring nothing. So we blew that opportunity, but we got back, and I mean, dude, when we got going, and it could have been a lot bigger for us, but man, it was so many obstacles that got in the way. People got in the way, women got in the way, and it just,
trust me.
You know, we still got to make records and do tours and do all that stuff.
I was there with you, you know, I know, but yeah,
you was there?
Because the crazy part, my story is similar. You know what I'm saying? I was on the block. I was doing me.
Yeah.
And dude pulled up to me and my man Keith Lee. Shout out to Keith Lee, Keith Vision Films. Check him out. Yeah, I need that interview, Keith. But we was on the block. Dude pull up. He in the Supra. You know, back then the Supras was shit. He was in the Supra drop top joint. He like, yo, I heard y'all could rap. I didn't want y'all to come to the studio with me. Studio. All right, we get in that joint. You know, I'm spitting, but I'm just rapping. You understand? Like you battle with something, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just doing that over the beat. I don't know nothing about no writing, no bars, none of that. And he recording us. I don't even know where that recording at. But we went back on the block and kept on doing us. So I ain't think nothing of it until I ran into you. But so before we get to there, what about the spot?
Which one?
The little spot you had in Germany.
You mean the joint?
Yeah.
Oh man, yo. If the joint could talk, yo, that was my basement in Frankfurt, man. That joint was, I mean,
So
it
that where
had a
that song came
reputation
from?
of
It's the joint.
yo, man. Let me tell you, anybody that was in Frankfurt that knew, yo, the joint was like this. We took the storage room, we cleared it out, we put like beds down there, TV, spray painted it up heavy, and man, it was just a mess, man. Just, I mean, I don't want to tell you what
Yeah.
happened
It,
down there, but
yeah, we want to keep on.
a lot of hearts got broke, a lot of work got put in down there. Let's just
Yeah,
leave
no
it at
doubt.
a lot of partying went down in that place right there. But yo, shout out to the joint.
Shout out to the joint.
Anybody plotting know the joint. If you was a runaway in Germany, you came to Frankfurt, you probably spent the night in the joint.
Might be at the joint. Hey, listen, how did you and Pete start the group BMG?
Well, because Pete was doing music before I got there. He was part of Mike Master 5. He was part of what was the name of that? I forgot the name of his group that he was in with a cat named Mike Carr. Pete was always doing music. That's the one that shout out to my man Pete Twist.
Shout out
When
to
I
Pete
met
Twist,
Pete, he
my
was in the
brother.
9th grade. He was rapping then, and he's the only person that I've ever known in my life that said this is what he wanted to do, and he did it. He didn't do nothing else. He had his
Yeah, no
blinders
doubt.
on from the gate, and he got me into it, and like BMG, first we was called Fresh 2, and then, NWA came out, and we were like everybody else, Dick Riders, and we needed 3-letter name too.
Right. So,
And BMG, Brothers Moving Germany, shit was
brothers moving
corny.
Germany. Shout out
Shit
to
was
brothers.
corny.
And we was moving Germany. We
Yeah,
was
we
moving
was.
Germany, baby.
And, but that's how we came up with the name BMG. And fortunately, BMG did some things for us. We got to do a lot of records and,
No
with
doubt.
different labels and
Videos,
different song
tours.
videos,
You
tours,
understand?
BMG
Yeah,
was
like
good
people
for
don't
us.
know, like you was opening up for Redhead, Kingpin,
Yeah,
a
bunch of
lot of
stuff.
everybody that came over that joint we was opening up for.
Yeah, and then the Force MDs.
Yeah, I did the
Remember them
Force
at
D's.
Redneck Mothers.
That's what it was called.
Redneck Mothers.
Yeah, that was
You
Redneck
got
Mother.
Force MDs and Dre opened it up for Force MDs at what club? Redneck
Redneck
Mothers.
Mothers. Yeah,
Redneck Mothers, right
that's
down the
right.
block
We
on
was
the
doing
election.
hip hop and R&B at the Redneck Mothers. I forgot that.
At the Redneck Mothers. You
Yo,
remember that? Yeah.
yeah, we had some times, though. We had
Oh,
some
man.
times, yo. Man, them was some times.
Oh,
So
man.
y'all was on the compilation with D.
Yeah, that was I think that might have been my second record, Frankfurt Tracks, Dance Yourself to Death, and we had a song called Let's House This. Yeah, it wasn't real, it was like a house music, but more of like a hip hop
House
feel
hip
to
hop.
it. Yeah, it was a
Hip
hip hop, it
house.
was
That's what they
more, yeah,
call it.
hip
Hip
house.
house.
But it was more hip hop, by then the lyrics was my skills was pretty sharp then.
Yeah. They was definitely sharp.
So Pete did the track, and we was on then. So,
In fact,
but yeah, shout out to Occam, man.
yeah,
Blackout Records.
Occam, my nigga.
Occam,
R.I.P. Occam.
Occam.
You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
Hey, but listen, I wanted to give the audience a little brief how we met. So, I'm from Nuremberg, but my 12th grade year I had to, because like I said, the CID was on my line, the Criminal Investigation Division, they was on my line. So I ended up having to go down to Osborg. And we went down Osborg, and I didn't get to start my 12th grade till like November. So then I graduated, leave to go to Nuremberg, come back. I come back in Osborg, everybody telling me, yo, it's two new dudes here, man. I said, where they come from, the world? They like, nah, they came from Frankfurt. They be fresh. I'm like, I'm the only one fresh around this joint. You know?
we was wearing
Yes.
jewels and diamond rings,
Yeah,
Gucci hats. Oh yeah, we was
yeah.
heavy.
So I'm like, I see y'all, but I'm still doing my thing. So me and my little crew, we ride up to Nuremberg because we having that little regional track meet where all the schools come from all over.
Right.
And then we leaving. We end up seeing you there, and we kicking it, boom, boom, boom. That's when we got in that picture together, leaving that joint, and dude run up on me like he want to battle me. I look around, ain't nothing but females around, so I got to go in. Somebody
Right.
turn around. This nigga do a motherfucking song. He do a verse and a hook. Wherever he was from, the
Thought he
people
was
knew the
LL
hook.
Cool J.
They got to singing that shit with him. I was like, you must have seen it in my face. Like, hold up. You came in this stuff, letting them diamonds glisten on their head, spun around, looking back to him. I'm like, she killing this nigga. Then we
Skills
stepped
was
off
ready
real
there.
quick and jumped in Gerald. Shout out to Gerald. We jumped in Gerald BMW and went back to Osborne. I came down that joint to y'all house and seen y'all. You had a studio in the basement.
Yeah, man.
That changed my life right there. That day changed my life. Then you taught me how to write bars and hooks. Yo, that was the change of my life. Yeah, that was serious.
A lot of people don't understand that, and this is what I always said about hip hop. You got a lot of people who they love the lifestyle of it. They don't really love the music part, the writing and studying and the research and all that effort that
No
it
doubt.
takes to really get it in. But everybody loves the lifestyle of it. They see the cars, the women, and everything like that. Well, we already had that.
Exactly.
We had the flashy cars, we had the jewels, we had the broads, and the music is, I can honestly say, if it wasn't for me moving to Augsburg and getting into that music, I wouldn't be who I am, because that was the first time that I ever really focused on anything and I realized what I was capable of through writing rhymes. When niggas was hanging out, I was in the library. When
Right.
dudes was doing crazy shit, I was writing, and then I started like studying word forms, and I started
Reading
looking at
novels. You
phrases.
start telling me, yo, you need to read a novel. You
You need to
understand?
read novels, yeah, man.
Things like that. Yeah.
And I was always like a visual rapper. I always wanted, when I was rhyming, I wanted you to be able to close your eyes and see what I'm saying. But that's the thing with the hip hop game, like what you're saying, coming down and changing your life. It takes discipline to do anything, and you're never gonna get good at something by half-assing it. Like even D told me, you can freestyle, but can you write? And
Right.
when I first started writing, I was like, terrible. This rhyme makes sense. It's direct. Stop bugging off our country. Give us. I'll never forget that. Just
Right.
garbage. Just whack.
Right.
And, D used to always say he would be DJ, and I'd be like, yo, they rap. Yo, let me get on the mic. He used to be like, yo, you whack. I said,
Right.
yo, the niggas is whack. He's like, I ain't letting another whack rapper up there.
Exactly.
And the first demo that I really did was a song called, what me and P did was Apparently We're Live, and that was like a little local hit. It was everywhere.
Right.
And when we did that, that's when D was like, all right, all right. And then one night we went to a concert. They had this cat from England named MC Merlin. And, we all in there, New York heavy, we doing our thing. D was like, yo, from the crowd, you what? He said, who said that? He said, who said that? D pointed at, he said it. He said, get him a mic.
D crushed him, huh?
He got me. He said, I said it. Got me a mic. He said, he said it. He said, give him a mic. I was like, yo, man. He's like, give him a mic.
But yeah, I know you went there. And
the thing is that, any type of battle with just not even just hip hop, but just like even war, people don't want long drawn out battles.
Right.
So what I learned was that I would say something real corny. My name is Scott. I'm hot. The girls is on my jock. I keep the party alive, hands in the air. And I would always say this garbage.
Right.
And I knew just by reading and studying warfare, I knew that they would come out with their best rhyme.
Right.
And they would be rapping. I'd be like, you do, give it up for them. Put them up. Give it up for them. You done. And I was crushing dudes like that for years, man. It just worked, man. But yeah, man.
Like I said, I seen you in action that day. Like, and I used to be just crushing a dude. Like, nobody had never did a song on me in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did a song on me.
He was like, my radio believe me. Nigga, this ain't Star Search.
Oh man, then we start right after the album drop. We was doing major clubs. Like, what was the name of the clubs? We had Tropicana, Funkadelic, Rock Fabric.
I was all.
We did the Munich Garage. We did
I was
Lexus.
way up.
We did Lexus. We did Omen Club up in Frankfurt. Yeah.
I was all over the place, man. For real. I can tell you, man, I was all over Germany, man. I
Yeah, we
was
were
I
supposed to
was
do
way up
the show
north.
up Stuttgart.
I was way up in Bremerhaven doing shows up there, man, just nonstop with Abby Lynn. Shout out to Abby with Pink Slip. Remember them Pink Slip?
Man, what? That's when they had tried to put the makeup on us. I'm like, man, I'm not putting no makeup on. They're
Put the
like, you need
makeup
it for the
on.
video, man. Get up off me, man.
That's it. I don't do makeup. I do bars.
Yeah, you
I
understand?
do I rhyme. I got
I can't
skills.
find that
I
video
don't
though,
gotta
man. I
I
was
don't
looking
gotta
for
put
that
on wig.
video
I
online. I
don't
can't find it. If you know
no.
where the link at,
No, I don't. I got. But you know what? I got all those records.
for real.
I got all them. So I got all them CDs packed up. They're in here somewhere. I know I still got those.
Hey, my
But
D ski joint just came in too. So I got my D ski, the one from RCA where we did
right. Oh
it ain't where you
yeah,
from is where you at.
yeah. You know they took the samples off of the American version.
Yeah, I
The
heard
European
people was
version
telling
got the
me that.
samples. Yeah, man. They
Yeah,
took the
but
samples
Pete was
off.
nice back then. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, Pete's
Hey,
one of the best producers in the
and
game.
speaking of that time period, remember we had put I had spun off out of BMG and started my own group.
Biggie Smalls, the original Biggie Smalls,
Yeah, it is. That's what
and
I'm talking
Silky
about,
Slim.
bro.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
no
Silky
doubt.
Slim.
The original Biggie Smalls. You understand? And my DJ, Mr. Quick. I see you sent me a picture. My DJ, Mr. Quick.
Kahari.
All right, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Kahari. You know,
I knew you would bug on that right there.
I seen Kahari in Mississippi one day. I'm out there selling T-shirts. I seen him
Wow.
in Mississippi, and I lost contact because I be juggling phones like a mug. I didn't lost contact, but yeah,
Oh,
we
Kahari.
used to be tan clubs up. We used to be
Oh
tan
man.
clubs up, and then we had the
Oh
African posse. We put the African
yeah.
posse down with us,
Ice,
and
Kev,
that was some
Rod the
GIs.
God,
Shout out to Ice, Eternal Mind, and Rod the
yeah,
God.
Rod
Yeah,
the
African
God.
posse. You understand what
Oh
I'm saying?
man, yeah. Champ the boxer. Shout out to Champ. Head to
Yeah.
head steel. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's so many memories and so many things that we
And then
got
they
to
opened
show.
up for Ready for the World.
Really.
Yeah. African Posse opened up for Ready for the World. Ready for the World was acting kind of funny, though.
I remember when they opened up for Public Enemy.
Yeah, I remember that,
I got
too.
to get on stage with them on that one right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But that's how it was the So Fly's Lovely Productions, baby. We was
So
pink.
fly, it's lovely. That's it. That's what we
Yeah.
had it. So fly, it's lovely.
Yeah. That's
Oh
because
man.
you was Fly King G, and Pete at the
Pete,
time was Pete Lovely.
Pete Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
fly, it's
Fly is
lovely.
Lovely Productions.
That's
Yo,
it.
we was doing the damn thing. So we was when we found out D was doing the song for RCA and Pete was doing the beat, we was in there battling for position on the song and shit. I ain't make the cut, but I still got on the hook. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
I actually wrote D verse for that.
I know.
I wrote
I
D verse
remember him
for
in the
that.
studio changing shit up. I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, man. We
Oh
was in
yeah.
there.
We went
Even
in
though I was
there.
in
Yeah.
there with my neck hurting because we just got in a car accident.
Looked like the crash test dummies.
Yeah, man. Listen, let me tell you, we was on our way up there. I'm riding with the African posse. I'm the only one know the way to get there. I'm like, yo, we just missed the turn. Now, mind you, we just talked about the Autobahn. Autobahn, we doing 100 and something miles an hour. I said, yo, we just missed the turn. I just try to make it. We in the third lane. He come all the way over. We get the fish scaling. All I can hear is an 18-wheeler behind us like, so I'm like, oh, shit. When I say, we get to flipping.
Yeah.
Yo, we
Y'all
flipping.
was flying right on the top with the sunroof open. Y'all hit.
Man, listen, we flipping, glass popping out. I'm still just in the same position as if I was sitting down. I'm flipping. Now, the person that's on my right, they in the trunk. The person on my left, I'm sitting on, because we on the hood and I'm sliding. You know what I'm saying? Cam, he got his high top fade halfway out the sunroof. The sunroof just popped off. He got a sunroof on his high top fade now. Ice got a patch in his shoulder. He driving. He got the seatbelt on. We come to a stop. I'm like, is anybody alive? Get to moving around. I'm like, yo, this Gary blow. We heard him climb up out of that joint. Man. Then we turn around, get kicked out the hospital. because we in there laughing and joking. And I say, yo, man, you look like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Wounds. Yo, hey, man, we was by the emergency room. That joint was crazy, yo.
Oh my God. I remember that when y'all came to D house that morning, ringing the doorbell, we looked out the window, y'all all bad niggas was like, it's the crash, the crash test W.
Yeah, man.
Yo, y'all, this
It
ain't
was a
no joke,
blessing to
y'all.
be
We could
alive.
have died. That shit was so funny, man.
Man, but I was not going to the studio with that neck brace on. I was like, Dad, I'm not going to the studio with this neck brace on. Hey, then the studio had the sofa that was up on the roof down there. You had to pull yourself up to get up on the. I was hurting all night, man. But I enjoyed
Long
myself.
D.
Shout out to RCA Blackout Records.
Yeah.
You
Long D was in there from London.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Producing the
Longzy was my
track.
man.
Oh my God.
Yo, we was chiefing that ass.
Yeah.
What about that other studio we messed up? Where somebody spilled the real?
The one where somebody stole the mic. He was like, get these monkeys out of here.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, it's a lot of memories, man. Like the thing you're talking about, a lot of it I forgot,
Right.
I just, I've been so into this life I'm in now, man,
Right. Life be
But-
life. And so
Yeah.
we all living our life. But just to have that memory of and that experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
being
it's
a brat,
good
that's
to
all.
put it out here to let people know that, Brats was really doing some things in their
Yeah.
lives while we was over there. Rather
Oh, yeah.
and how impactful the music was, it changed both of our lives. You understand? Because both of
Listen.
us was on a whole nother path. You understand? Like I said, I
Yeah.
realized I had the criminal investigation division, my name off their mouth all the time. You understand what I'm saying?
I didn't want to say about Fresh, but it's even like, believe it or not, even like the military, the soldiers that were over there, like you had, shout out to my man Rico Sparks, rest in peace, Eddie Action. Eddie was like, in Frankfurt, they got like the big mural of Eddie, man. He was big, man. He helped me and Pete make our first demo and got our first record deal.
A word.
And it's Puerto
Shout out
Rican
to
kid
Eddie.
from the Bronx. And he was in a group called Universal Movements. They was breaking. And Eddie was like, the dude, he was really that guy, man. Him and D-Ski, they was like, then you had, like, I was doing shows with like Turbo Beats from Snap before he got on. And it was like a lot of Americans. We were all over there together. We was like building that. We like Eddie and us. We really like Floor Masters. We really like put that hip hop thing down in Frankfurt, man. And like
no
really
doubt.
like
I
Germany.
mean, no, not just Frankfurt, all of Germany.
All of
my
Germany,
father's still over there. He talking about like the impact that we made while we was over there. Like it was a culture shock to them. They really wearing, dressing like us. They started rapping. If you remember, like some of them clubs we started going to, performing and stuff, you had German rappers rapping in German at that time.
Yeah.
They started trying to get down with the program. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Somebody be trying to speak English and German, So it was definitely, as much as it was a culture shock to us, it was a culture shock to them. And some of them really adapted to our culture.
Like I had my man, German cat I knew named Bomber. He was like heavy on the graffiti.
Right.
And I think Bomber was like the first dude to do a whole car train. I remember in Frankfurt, we was at the train station one morning, me and Pete, like, 7, 8 in the morning, and the train pulled in, the S-Bahn, and Bomber had bombed the whole train, windows and all. I think that was the first time that had ever been done.
Wow.
But the impact that we had, you like we was legends, man. Anybody that was in that era of hip hop, Fresh 2, D-Ski, Rico, Eddie Action, Universal Movements, Floor Masters out of Frankfurt, man. Frankfurt was like, they called it Little New York. We was like the hub, man. We were really like
when it comes to this music and Germany with the hip hop or hip house, whatever it is, D would have been like Curtis Blow or LL, and we would been like Run DMC or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we really blazed through and made an impact. We was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
When people say the word, I'm everywhere, you know where, we literally was everywhere.
Yeah.
Our passports been dipped. You know
cats in London knew about me, man.
Yeah, no
'Cause
doubt.
I was like, "Yo, France," they knew because we was going so hard on the mic, they was like, "Yo, these dudes, who are these dudes?"
Yeah, come on, man.
And,
Look at Lawsy D. Lawsy D from London. You
you
understand what I'm
know
saying? And Lawsy D, a hell of a producer and engineer. You
yeah,
understand?
but just, just the work, man, and just the reputation and the name, man, just going hard and everything like that. I mean, yo, it was crazy, but that's what you get to do when you overseas, man, and you focused on your craft and you working hard, man. You opportunities come your way, at least at that time. And we just like really opened the door for a lot of those young Germans to get into their vibe and do it. My
Yeah, we
little
introduced
nephew,
full of and so let me ask you though. At what point did Apollo come into effect?
I don't really, it's so
Is that when
funny
we was at the
because
Tropicana? He was DJing at the
he was
Tropicana?
at the Tropicana, and I met him. We met him, and actually, Paulo became our manager.
Yes, I know.
And Paulo was taking us around all over different places because he was DJing like all over the place. Then he had radio in Stuttgart, and he was just DJ Paulo, man. Yo,
Shout out
shout
to
out to
DJ
that man,
Paulo.
Paulo Montagli, man. He was really like, yo, one of the true pioneers. He was kind of like a DJ Red Alert, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
A
No
Chuck
doubt.
Chill Out over there in Germany, man. This dude
We help
was
we
doing
help we
black
help
music, soul music hard, man. He
yeah,
always was doing it.
but
Before
we
people,
helped him a lot because
yeah,
if
but
you notice, he a lot of that stuff didn't occur till after he became our manager. You
oh no,
understand what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that. I think Paulo was doing his work and we came along and we got in with him and it just went to another level. But this dude, man, DJ Paulo, man, he's a legend, man.
Yeah, he is. He is. Shout out
I
to
mean,
Paulo.
he's doing stuff out here with like Ice-T and he was flying back and forth. Like with Tupac, he had the rights to Tupac's all his shit over in Europe and Germany and everything. This is a guy that embraced the black culture, hip hop,
No
R&B
doubt.
culture. And wherever he went, the crowd went, and it was always fire, man. But this dude was a legend, man. DJ Paulo, man. I love
Yeah.
that dude. Yeah, because he really got us going with the music, man, introducing us to
And
people
he
and
had us in places that
you
we
know,
wasn't at before. He definitely had
right,
us in a rack of places that we wasn't before we met him.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, he like opened the door for me and I'll always be forever thankful for that,
I just
because
probably still feel salty because I came to the studio and he had took the equipment and they held my project up.
oh man. You remember that? Yeah,
Yeah,
came back from the tour, the equipment was gone.
yeah,
Trick
and I
P
was heated.
Bomb took
I was kind of,
that ASR 10, man. We were like, yo, we wanted blood. What'd you say? Some blood.
yeah.
Yeah, he got us with
It
us.
took Pete to calm me down. I was ready. Yeah,
But he was right though, because
yeah,
we did
he
almost
was.
50% of the tour.
But we
That's
young,
the
we
tour.
ain't know no better. All we knew was we doing music, and we happy to be doing
Yeah,
music. We ain't really understand the business side of it for real, for
right.
real. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I want to say to the anybody that's listening. It's 99% business and 0.1% show. You
Yeah, that's
understand what
it.
I'm saying?
All the glamour and glitz don't mean nothing if your
Right.
papers ain't right. But
Yeah, no
the
doubt.
music nowadays is kind of, I don't really listen to it too much anymore. Hip hop, like I'm still old school in it. I don't really listen to a lot of this stuff now. I don't think these cats got talent. People say they do. I don't agree. But, to each his own. I'm happy to see
I'm
it
not gonna say they
evolve
don't
and
have
everything.
talent. I'm gonna say they don't have imagination. Like
They don't
everything
have
sound the
imagination.
same.
That's it.
They don't rap about anything with substance.
Right.
You know,
You exactly right. That's
that
exactly it.
we used to have stories. We like you had that Jennifer. It inspired me to make
Yeah.
Ebony Hunter. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like
Yeah.
it's no inspiration. We write a story for you where you could,
Yeah.
like you said, you could see it
Visualize.
vividly as I'm saying it. You understand?
Yeah.
These people, they just they're half of
Money, cause,
their
but I don't want to
clarity
bash
is
them.
not that's one thing we used to talk about, dictation, your delivery. You know,
Yeah.
I don't feel that with these.
Editing. You got to edit. Well, see, it's because you got a lot of cats that think they can go in there and freestyle it.
Yeah,
And see, and that's because you ain't got no love for the game. People say, "Oh, Jay-Z went in there and freestyle it." Yeah, I mean, you could freestyle a party rap, but could you freestyle a stand?
not at all. Or
You
worse than
understand?
that, Like, I think that's what messed the game up too with that. Oh yeah, I did it off the top of my head. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I'm saying?
sound like it. But see, that's to the trained ear that don't know no better. It sound like it. It's easy to go to the studio and do one verse and stop and then punch the second
And
verse
the
in
punch
and
in,
punch the
right.
third one. But when you're doing it at home, you got all day to do that. But when you're in a real studio and you got a budget, you got to get in there and get it right. It ain't no playing games. But when you got unlimited money to just go in there and just wild out, hey, it is what it is. But shout out to the young people that's doing it. Shout out to the people that's keeping it alive. Shout out to the underground joints that's still,
Even it
doing it,
grimy. Yeah.
keeping that flow going. I'm not necessarily saying that drugs and guns and all of that is my thing, but yo, the grind is there. As long as the grind is there, your heart's in it. Who is ever to say that it's whack?
No
And
doubt.
that's what I always try to tell people, if you're doing it from your heart and it's really in your heart, whether you singing, dancing, rapping, acting, or look, if you're a scientist trying to break atoms, as long as you're doing it from your heart and you ain't got the money aspect up in the front, say, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get rich. If you're just doing it from your heart, nobody can ever tell you that you whack. Nobody can ever tell you that it's trash. Nobody can ever say you don't got this or you don't got that. As long as it's from your heart and it's real, it's always gonna be good.
No doubt.
Yeah, man, that's life. Period. Whatever you doing.
So who was the three most influential people in your life, and what kind of impact did they have?
In my life, well, my mom, first of all, Sergeant Lily Gibson,
Shout
rest
out
in
to
peace.
Mama Gibson.
That Sergeant Lily Gibson, she allowed me to, be me. And I got to run around wild and everything like that. And she let me be that till I found myself. Another influence on my life was Command Sergeant Major Haynes and Vera Haynes, Pete's parents. They were a
Shout out
major
Papa Haynes
influence.
and Mama
They
Haynes.
were a major influence on my life. And, and real talk, man, I think my ex-wife, Kim Bush, Kim Gibson,
Mm-hmm.
when I got with her, I was still a little rough and everything like that. And she showed me the meaning of hard work, focus, dedication. She gave me two beautiful children, but her work ethic was strong. She's a good woman, but she played a major influence on my life too.
That's up. That's what's up.
She held me accountable. You know what I mean?
Right,
I
right,
dealt with a
right.
lot of women who didn't keep me accountable, even like Valentina Shorter, that my girlfriend now. I've known her from back in I met her like in 1987,
Definitely, right.
She was my first wife, but even she, believed in my dream. So, I mean, these two women had such a major impact on my life because they both allowed me, one believed in my dreams and allowed me to be who I was. And the other one, because of Valentina let me do that, Kim was able to get in there and, clean up the rough edges around it. So shout out to all of those people because they all play such a major part in my life. And then, my kids for sure. Cameron and Dylan, both graduated last year. My daughter graduated college. My son graduated high school. My son's a straight A student and now studying electronics. So, I mean, it's just these things right here that, but those are the people that played a major role. But being, I'm a nurse and I was able to meet so many incredible people along the journey, old black men, old white men, old black and white women.
Right.
And that just gave me so much knowledge and gave me so much insight into life. And it made me a better person, a well-rounded person. Dre, I don't really talk about my past too much. Like with you right here, this is probably they'll probably just get this because I'll never talk about it with anybody else because I ain't that person anymore. But I'm not mad at those. I'm not mad at those stories. I'm not mad at the past. But from where I was to where I've been now, I'm an educated man. My outlook on life is different. I'm here to work my magic and do my thing. But if it wasn't for those early years and running up on people with guns and sitting in jail, and
You wouldn't be able to appreciate
I
this part of
wouldn't,
your
I
life.
wouldn't, right? Because there's people
So let,
that's
let me ask you real quick. So what's the most important lesson you learned in the music business?
in the music business, hard work. That's for me. It's not even about the business part, whatever. But what I learned from the music is the hard work that I put in. When I went in that basement for like a year and just all the work, and getting going from 0 to 100 and coming out of that basement like a fire breathing dragon. I had a blueprint for life. So whenever I had to do something in my life that required me to focus and put all my energy into it, I was able to always go back to that. So even when I was in nursing school, I was like, man, how can I focus? What can I do? And I said, remember when you did that music? I put that I used that music. I put that nursing school over top of it and melted it together. And I graduated up at the top of my class. You got to remember, I dropped out of school in the like 8th, 9th grade, bro.
Right.
I got a GED, and I was able to knock that GED off quick. It with 1 week in a study, and I was able to get that. But college, I didn't know what a GPA was. But when somebody pulled my coat to, yo, you got to do it this way, I was able to excel. But I was only able to do that because of the work that I put in with the music. Yeah, that's the best lesson I learned,
So if you could tell your 18-year-old self some advice, what would you say?
Go back to school. Lead the streets alone. I don't have a lot of regrets, but because I was always book smart, I was just stupid. And the thing is that as far as education wise, I could have did a lot more, because anybody that's ever been fortunate enough to have me as their nurse, they'll tell you that, yo, this guy is something special. And I could have got that early if I would have took that, if had somebody to point me in the direction of that.
Right.
I could have got in school a lot earlier. But the point is that the music, I wouldn't have had that music and that hard work and that drive that I got from that music. So I wouldn't have had a blueprint to go back to figure out how to do it. The thing is, I wish I would have taken advantage of the military education over there, because the schools were incredible. Frankfurt High was like ranked one of the best schools for military or just high schools, period. It was just incredible. And I had Vice Principal George Osra. He was like, you got this genius IQ. And he used to tell my girlfriend, this guy is really intelligent. He's a leader. He could do all of these things. But, I had did so much dirt, there was no going back to try to save it, because I was too out of control. But if I could tell my 18-year-old self something, just like I tell my kids, yo, son, you a winner. Focus that to something. But even though I got it late, I'm still able to shine. I'm still able to win. And I'm still able to be the person that I am now. Humble. I'm not out of control. And anybody that knows me that has been fortunate enough that be in my care, they will tell you, this guy is something special. He is something, man. And that's from being in the street and seeing the things that I seen, and just in nursing, seeing the things that I seen. I seen some horrible things as a nurse.
Sure.
I've been in the prisons working with these young cats, and it's hard to be in there with a young cat that's entering the prison system, and then you go on the system and you in processing them, and you look at his sentence, it says release date and it says life. And I seen that all the time, 30 years, and it's hard, because I'm like, man, I could have been them.
Yeah, no doubt, easily.
I could
I
have
be
been
thinking
them
about that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
if my mother didn't get me over to Germany and turn me into a brat.
Right. And even then, I almost ended up in them type of situations. Like I said, if it wasn't for me running it, like God had definitely a plan, because like if it wasn't for me running into you with the music and Scott, yo, who knows, man, where I'd have been. When I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't none of that social media stuff. Somebody seen me in Walmart and was like, yo, you used to go to school in Germany? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, you ain't on Facebook? I'm like, nah, man, police be on that junk, man. He like, look, man, everybody think you dead. I had to go on Facebook. Yo, everybody think you dead, yeah, but what does it mean for you to be a brat?
Man, Dre, the experience of that, just experiences, man. Some of the people that I got to meet, I mean, of all cultures, man. I came from New York, and I can honestly tell you, man, it was like nigga on Saturday night, little racism and everything. But when I got to Germany, man, I saw how everybody was getting along with each other, and the people that I got to meet, the experiences that I had, man, meeting people from all over the world over there. And all of that is due to being a brat.
No doubt.
Just some of my best friends that I've ever met to this day. Like you, Pete, Odie, shout out to my man Odie.
Shout out to
I
Odie.
mean, Gerald, just some of the people that I got to meet that to this day I love like my brothers, man. And we were only over there together 8 years, but the impact
Right, no
of
doubt.
guys and all these people on my lives, man, it was just unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
And
no
that's
doubt.
what it means to me to be a brat. Just experience, love, friendship, respect. I don't know if I would have got that. I don't know. I had friends in New York and everything like that, but it was nothing like it was over there, man.
Right, it's a
It
whole
was
different
nonstop.
gen. It was like a family. It was
It was
like a family.
family. That's what it is. That's what being a brat is to me, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Experience and just love, man.
So on
Just
our show,
people.
I want to take this moment. We had some brats that went before us,
Yeah.
and I miss a few, and it's a lot that I miss. It might be something that you miss. So we want to take this time right now, have a moment of silence for the fallen
Yo,
brats that went before us. Salute.
salute, man.
Hey, I want to thank
Everybody out there.
our special guest, Mr. Fresh, High King G. Gibson. Tell the viewers of the media, social medias and stuff, they want to reach out to you.
You
Anybody
know,
that might not see you in a while want to talk to you or whatever.
oh yeah, you can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm not really on social media too heavy, man. Ain't got time for it. But my Instagram is Scott SKOTTS dot Decia. The best bet would be to try to catch me on Facebook, man. I'll start popping up and looking in. I only post about my family, but yo, it was good to talk with you, Dre, man.
It was
We
definitely a
talk anyway.
blessing, bro. You my
Yeah,
brother. You
yeah,
understand? Even when
man.
you came back, and you went to Petersburg, I had to come down there to see your
Yeah,
mom's
yeah.
and family in Petersburg. You understand?
Mom's had the door wide open. Come on, her son
Yeah.
Dre,
Shit, there was nothing but love,
nothing but
all the
love, baby.
time. All
But,
right.
I'm here.
So to the Brat family, once again, thank you for tuning in. And we're going to see you same Brat channel, same Brat time. Until then, peace.
Peace.